Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We got action in the Bay. We got action. I love it. Warriors beat the Kings last night, 116-113. Steph Curry, he was special. 47 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. Steph Curry already through 11 games. He's only played in 10 of them. 8 30-point games in the 10 games that he's played. 8. He's on a heater. He's hit 3 threes in each one of his games, which is the longest such streak to start an NBA season. Last time a player had 47 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, and no turnovers. 1990, Larry Bird.
Oh, Larry Legend.
Larry Legend.
Somewhere Steiny got his wings.
You know who may be a bigger fan is Chris Mullin.
Of what, Larry Bird?
Yeah, he was like, what? We got the stat. He hits me. He's like, what I've been telling you. He more resembles Larry Bird. Off ball, on ball. He was juiced up about it. I was like, you know what? I'm not mad because as I grow older, I appreciate Larry Bird every single day.
As you grow older and Chris grows older as well, it looks like you're taller than him on television.
Maybe. There may be some. And a little wider, but it's all good. Steph Curry is all-time great last night. They needed it. You know, Game 4 finals, 43 points at TD Garden. It was beautiful to be there. You know, Steph Curry needed to pull that out yesterday, and he would not lose. He picks up the technical. You see them barking. You see him telling Moody, get your ass out of the corner, sprint. That's what leaders do. That's what leaders do. And when you have Steph Curry, you got something cooking here. Do they need to make a move? Do they need to play the youngsters? I have no idea what Bob Myers does. Well, I have no idea. There's a problem with the bench, though, Shasky. There is. So, but for today, winning that basketball game, I feel a hell of a lot better than if they were 3-8.
Well, that's clear. That's obvious.
They were 3-8. We came in this morning. Oh, my Lord.
This could all go away 2 weeks from now. We're sitting here, and they go on a little run, and this is all in the rearview mirror. Like, that is definitely a possibility. Just the team that I've watched, what's the record is what, 4-7? 4-7. So they played 11 games. And, Joe, it's a small, tiny little bit of the season. Factually correct. Even the 4 wins. The Lakers came storming back in that game. They've had some, nice wins. It feels like they're clinging on for dear life. And I just look at this team and I thought they'd be better overall.
Well, you know what? It could be 7-4. You blew a 4-point lead with a minute left in Charlotte on a Saturday night with the starters in the game. Okay? Starters are in the game. You blew a 4-point lead with a minute left. I'm not blaming the starters for the loss. Bench has got to be better. Mm-hmm. It's the number one issue. I'm saying it. 8:07, Bonte Hill, alongside Joe Shasky on the Morning Roast, is saying that the bench has to be better. However, you blew a 4-point lead with a minute left against the Charlotte Hornets. You lost in overtime. Miami, I'm not saying the starters, they're to blame. The bench was not good. Miami goes on a 20-3 run in the first quarter. That's a problem. But the fact is, you scored 2 points in the last 5:03. You scored 2 points in the last 5:03, and you lost the game. Orlando, the bench was not good. You're up 90-75, rolling in the third quarter. You play some bench guys, things flip. All of a sudden, they go on a 21-6 run in the third quarter, and they go on a 40-18 run overall, and you lose a game in Orlando. But the game was in the balance. Steph turned it over twice down the stretch. Wiggins smoked the layup. Klay Thompson had a bad shot. All right? He made a great corner 3, but he also missed one. The starters had the game in the balance, so you could easily be 7-4 with all these problems.
But you're not.
But you're not. So now you got to play uphill. And you're playing uphill with a bench that cannot produce.
Well, so to me, again, I want to ask you this the right way, and maybe I'm getting a little in the weeds here. It feels like these two sentences cannot coexist. You reference how great the starters are efficiency-wise, which the numbers tell you that. And then we know simultaneously that the bench stinks. But then you're also referencing that the majority of those starters are still squandering and not executing late in games. How can those two things coexist simultaneously?
Because they can. You see it happen, right?
So
the bench is blowing leads. The bench is blowing leads while the starters are getting you leads. You're getting off the great starts.
Remove the bench.
Scoring is not an issue. But down the stretch, the starters, they scuffled a couple games.
They aren't executing down the stretch.
I feel like they're executing. We could smoke the point-blank layup in Orlando. You could have been up 3. It
You
was
just
118
I
to
know, but
117.
we're talking about individual sequences.
Draymond also smoked the layup and turned the ball over twice down the stretch in Miami. So some of the starters are responsible.
Okay.
But hell,
That's what I was
But
saying.
you would be in the damn.
No, I agree.
You would be losing by 30 if these guys weren't playing.
No, I agree with you. But to say that the starters are fine and everything's all right,
They're fine for the most part. I believe they're fine for the most part.
I still think that it's not as good as we want it to be. Like right now, I'm looking at this team and I don't feel like they're all pulling the rope in the same direction. It just doesn't look good to me. You know, I know we're in every game. A lot of teams in the NBA are in every game. This is supposed to be a championship level team. And that's why I'm judging it on that curve. And maybe that's unfair. Maybe this isn't a championship level team.
It's my fault.
What do you mean?
It's all my fault because I said this team was stacked.
Well, we all did, B. It's not you.
Depth,
We all
everything.
did.
We all talked
the
about the
coach said this might be the deepest team I've ever had. He doesn't just say things flippantly.
Yeah, and you know what? They're not that deep. Wiseman's unplayable right now.
Yes.
Which is he may be a good player.
Let's start from the top.
He may be a good player.
We do this. We go down to the bottom and we start picking on Ty Jerome's.
I'm not picking on these guys.
I'm saying you. I'm saying people in general. Let's start at the top. Steph's playing elite. Wiggins is playing pretty good. I feel like Looney's playing pretty good, but he's in a lot of foul trouble.
Looney's taking a step back. He's been in foul trouble a lot.
I mean, on my list, you don't think he's in the third best player?
No, Draymond has.
You think Draymond's been better?
Draymond's been really good this season.
Okay.
It's been good.
I lean Looney.
I know it's tough to say because of what happened in training camp, but let's be real. Draymond's been solid.
He had 3 horrific turnovers yesterday. Just throwing it into no man's land that led to 3-point shots.
You don't win that game without Draymond defending Sabonis in the paint.
I mean, that's the quandary of Draymond.
You don't win that game with him defending Fox down the stretch. Draymond's been really good for this team.
So you think he's been better than Looney? Okay, fine. Then you got him higher than Looney. All right. Where's Klay at on this list? Like, I look at the inconsistency of Poole, and Klay's been better than Poole. Much better than Poole. Poole's been horrific. Horrific. I expected him to be a huge part. Like, at times last year, he was the second best player on this team. Mm-hmm. Not for the majority of months, but at times, that guy's nowhere to be found.
He's 5 of 24 from the three-point line over his last 4 games. 5 of 24. He's turned the ball over. Yesterday, he had more turnovers than points. 3 turnovers, 2 points.
My bigger overall point is I look at this team and I go, Steph's playing at a high level. And then it's like a drop-off, and we can pick and choose here. And I think Wiggins is playing at a high level, and then it's just, we're like reaching and searching. That's not good enough. So when everyone tells me they got the highest plus minus, the starters are this and that.
That doesn't matter. The fact is, the starters aren't getting you
the whole story.
It doesn't paint the whole. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I just laid it out for you. They blew 3 games down the stretch. Now you can say, well, the starters had to win the game 3 times. I don't subscribe to that. That's stupid. That's fanboy talk.
No.
All right? That's straight up fanboy talk. But the starters have bailed this team out because the bench is not doing a damn thing. They have the worst bench in the league by all the numbers. You want to do plus minus. You want to do efficiency ratings. You want to do... the bench has been the worst in the NBA.
It feels like the 2020 bench, the year that they got into the play-in. I mean, I'm looking at it from an IQ standpoint and just like an impact. Kelly Oubre would be a massive upgrade, just going back to that team. You think I say that lightly? I couldn't stand watching Kelly Oubre play. The guy literally passed one time in like a 3-week span. I was charting it. All right? Like, so, yes, I know what I'm saying. They have 0 IQ and impact coming off the bench. Right. We're begging for Ty Jerome minutes. And I'm not even ripping Ty Jerome. He's one of their better players. That's an indictment of where they're at.
But think about where they're at with the numbers. If you want to go numbers, best starting 5, worst bench. You got to have some balance.
No doubt.
You got to have some balance. When Steve Kerr, you can't play Steph Curry. Steph Curry, what did he play last night? 40 minutes.
That's unsustainable.
Steph Curry played 40 minutes.
You're going to wear him down by December 25th.
Right. He played 40. No, he played 38 minutes. Klay played 38 minutes. Andrew Wiggins played every second of the fourth quarter. Klay played every second of the fourth quarter. Draymond Green played 36 minutes. Looney would have played more than 21 had he not been in foul trouble. The bench has to be better, and it starts with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole has to get going here. You get Jordan Poole going, and I feel a lot better about the squad. All of a sudden, Lamb may be better. You're playing Lamb 16 minutes. You're not playing Wiseman 1 second.
I don't think he deserves to play right now. I can't keep up for someone who can't meet me halfway and show me that he deserves to be on the court. That's where I'm at with him. And like Kuminga, which we were talking about heading into the game, everybody's screaming about Kuminga, which I agree. I like to see Kuminga play, but you're going to see him falter as well. Yeah. And so you have to live with some of the good and the bad. Yeah. And it feels like to me, not just the fan base, the organization has zero tolerance for the failure portion of it, and they just want to reap the benefits of ascending play. When reality development is not a straight line forward, it's a down, it's up, it's down, it's up, and then maybe you make a leap, or maybe you never make a leap.
Maybe you don't. Let's go to the lines. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna play this from Steph Curry on the bench. He discussed it last night. Here's what he had to say.
Again, the story of this team so far is trying to figure out what combination works, giving guys opportunities to go out and play. And I think Draymond talked about it before after one of our road games. They know they need to play better, but we also, as a starting group and the vets, were kind of dropping the ball on some detail stuff that was kind of trickling into, just the flow of games. And so obviously there needs to be some more consistency. We need to be able to maintain the momentum that we create, especially early in games. I don't know what that's going to look like, and coach is trying to figure that out, but the confidence that we will figure it out is still there. I think that's the biggest thing you have to maintain in the present, because nobody's going to figure it out for us. We have to do it. Guys are going to get opportunities. We have to build individual confidence that when you're out there, you can make plays, you can impact the game. And coaching staff's job, it's us as the vet's job to make sure they know how to do it.
I was watching him on the postgame show that you guys had him on right afterwards, where you dropped the Christian McCaffrey line.
I shouldn't. That was silly.
No, that was great.
That was bad. It
was great. I got a good laugh out of it.
That was terrible.
It's hard for me to not see the frustration, even through the smile of Steph Curry.
He's worn out.
That's the big thing for me. Like, Joe, you're overreacting. No. The superstar generational talent, who's the greatest player in Warrior history, is frustrated. So when I see him show the level of frustration and emotional inconsistencies that he never shows, why would I not panic a little? Like, the greatest player I've ever seen play basketball is telling me he's not satisfied.
Yeah, but he's not panicking.
He's saying that.
He's not panicking.
Did it look like that?
Steph Curry's not panicking.
He was on the bench as downtrodden as I've ever seen him.
And you know what he did? Whew. He dropped 47 on our asses.
Yeah, but he also knows that's
17 in the fourth quarter. But so what? He dropped 17 in the fourth quarter, said, I'm going to win a game for us. That's what great players do. Great players don't panic. They say, all right, we got issues here. How do we figure it out? That's what Steph is. He tries to figure it out. He don't panic. So I'm not going to panic. Steph's not panicking. I'm not panicking.
He's just one form of leadership. Kobe Bryant would go to kill someone. LeBron James will throw you under the bus. So,
that's why Steph Curry is the best leader possibly in all the sports, in sports history. Possibly outside of Tim Duncan, maybe the best leader ever.
Bonte, I believe in different forms of leadership. You can disagree. I think Steph's one of the all-time greats. But there's wartime presidents, there's peacetime presidents. Both can be great leaders. Just whatever their environment is requiring of them, they can showcase their leadership in different forms.
Rest in peace to Kobe. He wasn't a great leader.
I don't think that's fair.
LeBron James, not a great leader.
I mean, these guys won ridiculous amounts of championships.
Yeah, thank God he had Dwayne Wade alongside of him to be a leader in that locker room. LeBron James would throw you under the bus so damn fast. Look what they did to Russell Westbrook last year.
Was Magic Johnson a leader?
Magic was a leader.
Okay, he threw his coach under the bus.
Magic was a leader.
I mean, everybody's got imperfections on their resume, even the greats, even Michael Jordan.
Well, the coach needed to be checked. Westhead, we've all read the books. We all watch the movies. Westhead needed to be checked. All right, he needed to be checked.
I believe in different forms of leadership. Okay, and not everyone's going to be vocal and scream and call for people. Not everyone, and neither is right or wrong. It's what your team needs at any given time, or what your authentic demeanor is as a person. Yeah. I don't want you to overstep your bounds. Like Patrick Mahomes, I consider him a leader. At times he's pointing at people. At times he's calm and poised. Tom Brady screaming and yelling. He was the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. Joe Montana didn't really scream and yell at people. There's different forms of leadership.
Here's Draymond on finding rotations. The rotations.
We just got to continue to try to find the right rotations. I'm a starter, and I think my minutes is sustainable. I think that's what you work for. But in saying that, I do understand the big picture and just know that playing 37 minutes a night, 38 minutes for Clay, 38 minutes for Steph, 40 minutes for Wiggs, like that's tough to keep up throughout the season and then get to the playoffs, number one, healthy, and number two, as fresh as you could possibly be. It's tough. And so we did what we had to do tonight because it was very imperative that we came out of here with a win. But we're going to need our guys to continue to get better and step up. And I don't have any doubt that they'll figure it out, or we will figure it out with them.
And here's Draymond on the great plus-minus stat.
I think plus-minus kind of tell you a lot. Sometimes you're kind of an innocent bystander, negatively impacted. Sometimes you're positively impacted. But I think for the most part, it's a stat that tells the truth. Was it good when you were out there or was it not? And I think that's kind of what that stat says. So I take pride in it, a lot of pride in it, because I want to know it was good when I was on the floor, just as a competitor.
What did you make of the long exchange between Draymond and Steph Curry on the floor last night as he was hugging him, and it looked like he was talking into his ear? It was weird.
I didn't see it because we were scrambling. So I'll take you behind the scenes at NBC before we get to the lines again.
I found that odd.
We're standing up like, okay, we know we're going seamless post game.
Yeah.
We're going seamless.
Do you know that you're getting Steph Curry?
Did not know until like we got up on the demo. So.
All right.
So that's what we call that area. So we're sitting there, and basically when Fitz signs off, we have 30 seconds. So we're scrambling, right? Make sure I get all the stats down, and just all this information.
Button up,
all the stuff, mic up, all the stuff. And then we get up there, and I'm in the intro, and I hear Sakti. When Sakti yells at me, I know he's getting yelled at from the control room. Steph's there, Steph's there, Steph's there. So I'm in my intro, and it's like, oh, Steph, we're going right back to Chase Center. Don't even have time to finish the intro. And boom. And so I didn't see any of that stuff.
Well, he held him. He put it looked like his left arm around him, and he brought him in real close. And it looked like, I don't know if he was saying thank you. I don't know if he was just like, it felt like the exchange for a game in November, and everyone, it's only November.
Yeah.
The exchange was very telling to me. The body language was like, thank God we got this win.
Thank God you
Our
carried us.
souls needed this win. And yes, and thank you for carrying us.
Right.
But it just... That game felt bigger than just some random game 11 in November. That's all I'm saying. The whole thing just feels off.
Well, they needed that.
Yeah.
This team needed that.
Hell
this
yeah,
group
they
needed
did.
that. And again, it's better to study after a win. We've had that conversation with Steph already. We literally did. After, what game was that? Miami. Hey, it's a lot of mistakes, but it's fun to clean up the mistakes after a dub than it is a loss. So, you know what? It's I got this. The bench is a problem, no doubt. And the two timeline thing that hasn't been done in NBA history. Nobody's really done what the Warriors have done. Now
Do they get credit for doing it last year?
They do, but we all know Kuminga wasn't a factor in the playoffs. We know Wiseman
They
didn't
had
play.
moments.
Moody had moments.
I mean, Moody and Kuminga.
Moody had moments in the playoffs. Kuminga really didn't play in the playoffs.
Didn't he play early in the first round?
He really didn't play much.
Okay.
He didn't play much. So, Moody. But you know what? Steph is still Steph.
Of course.
I feel good about that.
Of course.
Clay,
but for how much longer?
Clay, who knows?
And then he rolled his ankle last night. And you're thinking,
you got to stop worrying.
No, but I'm just saying, I think every Warrior fan was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
when his
and he went
ankle
out there,
turned.
and he went out there on one ankle and dropped 17 in the fourth quarter.
He's a legend.
17 in the fourth quarter. He gets 3 days off. Ankle's fine. Clay, I love the looks that he's getting. Clay will figure it out. Those shots will start to drop. Until I see it don't over the course of an 82-game season, then I'll stand back and say, you know what, Clay, his better days are gone. His best days are gone. Wiggins is still playing at an elite level, so I feel good about that. Looney will stay out of foul trouble, hopefully, but you got to find something from the bench. Jordan Poole, that's the big key. And I wonder, I actually thought about this last night driving home for the first time all offseason. Did they pay Poole too early?
Prematurely?
Should they have waited on Poole?
I mean, look, we had the same conversation about Draymond Green.
Poole.
No, we had the same conversation about Draymond Green. They paid him in the middle of a disaster season when they should have let it play out, and they gave him a $100 4-year deal, $100 million 4-year deal, and it felt like they kind of jumped the gun on that. If they allow Jordan Poole to not get the extension and play it out, what does it look like, B?
He's playing his ass off because he knows he has to get paid.
The punch and everything, maybe he wants out? Does he demand out?
I don't know. He's not playing well. He had more turnovers than points last night.
No, he was horrific.
He scuffled the last 4 games. Friday night against the Pelicans. when Steph and Dre and Clay and Wiggins sat on that bench in street clothes. Jordan Poole did not look good. Over dribbling, barking at refs, letting Alvarado get in. Alvarado was dancing on him. You see Alvarado dancing on him Friday? Yeah. Jordan Poole's got to figure this out.
No doubt.
The punch ain't going nowhere.
Well,
if the punch is a problem, then we need to have a different conversation. And you know what? Again, you asked me last hour, has anybody ever at work done something to you, verbally abused you?
Or any walk of life.
Absolutely.
And then you've got like your family member or something, and then it doesn't.
And I don't rock with them no more.
Well, there you go.
That's me though. That's me personally. Some people handle things differently. Me, when that happens to me, wash my hands and I move on. I may say what's up to you. I may say hello. May have some small talk, but I ain't rocking with you no more.
You know, we're referencing Poole getting paid a little prematurely, which is a total fair debate, which we should be having right now. We also have just kind of like forgotten that this organization, and I'm not ripping, I want you to listen to what I'm saying here. They paid $80 million for Clay to not play a dribble. All right. And then they paid him a lot of money last year, and he worked his way back in. For them to still win a championship with a guy on a max contract being non-existent for multiple years and then coming back and still working himself in, that's also an outlier. Like, what they did there was tremendous, and I don't think we've really truly understood what they did there. If you tell me player X on the Clippers, on the Lakers, on the Boston Celtics, who's a max player, is out for the majority of the year, working themselves back from a major injury, we write those teams off. Like, this team has overcome. They overcame a tremendous, but that was a financial situation that would do in almost every other organization in the league were it not for Joe Lacob and this team investing back into the luxury tax and overpaying. So the Poole thing's not great right now is what I'm saying. They overcame it once. I don't know if you can overcome it a second time is what I'm saying. If they're not getting the squeeze for the buck on Poole, that could be an organizational downfall.
Well, you know, they won that championship last year, and I'll never forget when Ron Adams told us the day after the championship, we overachieved this year. Because of all those things you just pointed out. Because of all those things. They overachieved. But you know what? They got the championship.
They did.
And so now, how do you put that championship recipe back together? How do you figure it out? Well, it starts at the bench. I think on this team, the bench has to be better. They have to be better. You can't. Every time the starters are coming out, and I gave them a pass. Damn it, last night, Sacramento, it happened right away. 16-2 run to end the first quarter. Right away.
They have no perimeter defense.
So, again, we can't blame Wiseman this morning because he didn't get his sniff last night. Maybe you put him back on, maybe you demote him to the G League. I don't know. All right, your